So, despite the usual demeanor on this channel, this one's more of a relatively serious one, you know? I might still throw in some little laughs and jokes here and there for the most part, but this is an actual, like, I need to say something, I need to get something off my chest, right? Obviously, you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail. This is somewhat of a message to Paramount directly, right? This will probably never get seen. It's just, you know, a little talking point that I just really wanted to just chit-chat about, because this is something that has been very important to me for a very long time. And I really, really think that this entire situation is just the worst possible thing that could have happened. It is literally worst case scenario all around. And it really sucks, right? You know, I'm a smaller channel. I don't have the biggest voice, especially in, you know, this community or in the Avatar community or anything like that, because, you know, I don't make videos on Avatar. The biggest voice I have a community in is Pokemon, and even then it's not that large. But for the most part, you know, I just want to, you know, use whatever I have to just talk about, you know, certain subjects. And you know what? This is a side quest of mine. I love the Avatar franchise. I've loved Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's easily one of my top, I want to say, 3 animated shows of all time. I've watched it so many times now. I absolutely adore it. Its world, its characters, its themes, its messages, everything about that universe is just so incredibly important to me. So obviously obtaining something like The Legend of Korra was awesome, and seeing, you know, the backlash on it because of, you know, just the awkward time that it came out, all the unfortunate situations that happened with its, you know, just how it was produced, and how it just came out during a very awkward time where we were transitioning between cable and streaming and stuff like that. It was just an all-around unfortunate situation. But regardless, I love I almost said Legends of Zelda again. Oh my god. I love The Last Airbender. I love Legend of Korra. Say what you will about that series, I still think it's fire, even if it does have a lot of rough patches about it, right? So that's just to set the tone to understand that the Avatar universe is extremely important to me, which is why this situation here is extremely frustrating. And Paramount, I need you to do me a favor, right? Because I imagine that anybody that's here knows the situation good and well already, right? Paramount, I'm gonna need you to do the one thing that you can to save this film, to save Avatar, to just, you know, if you guys want to make money, you guys want to do the right thing, you guys want to make sure you guys have projects coming out left and right that people actually want to see, then you need to do yourselves and everybody a favor and let this movie be shown the way it was meant to be shown. Put this movie in theaters. Please do not be stupid. For anybody that isn't aware of the situation somehow, maybe you've been living under a rock, which I completely envy you, right? But long and short of it is, the long-awaited Avatar Aang movie, the most recent project within the Avatar universe, the film that was initially going to be released in theaters later this year, or I guess it was supposed to come out last year or maybe even the year before. They had like an entire timeline that has just been kind of a mess, but the one thing that we did have confirmed to us was that the next major Avatar film was going to be in theaters. Come to find out, Paramount decided, nah, we want to see more traffic on Paramount Plus instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull this from theaters because, you know, 2D films don't make that much money or anything like that anyways, and we're going to put it on Paramount Plus so that we can, you know, determine whether or not to continue with this project, because, you know, we need to see what kind of foot traffic we can get through that. Obviously, to the consumer, a decision like that is the most frustrating thing possible, because nobody wants to pay for more streaming services, especially, respectfully, for Paramount Plus, which has almost nothing to offer. Think about it this way. I'm a Sonic fan, right? Love Sonic to death. I'm a ride or die with this franchise. Always will be, right? I respect, you know, I have some love for, certain aspects of Paramount and stuff like that for revitalizing the Sonic franchise through the movies, right? Without the Sonic movies, Sonic would not be where it is today. We wouldn't be looking at Crossroads. We wouldn't be looking at a lot of things right now if it weren't for those movies. So, you know, I do have some soft spots for some aspects of Paramount, or at the very least, certain creators within that, right? I didn't even bother with the Knuckles show because I knew it was going to be cheeks, right? But on top of that, it was specifically on Paramount Plus. No, I was not going to buy a subscription to Paramount Plus for that one show only to watch what else was even on there. The iCarly revival, Are the Transformers movies on there? I don't know. I'm not bothering because it's not worth it. There's nothing on Paramount Plus that could make me buy a subscription just because, right? So the fact that they would go out of their way to try and make it so that they could try to funnel all of the Avatar fans into Paramount Plus just for that one movie is extremely frustrating and stupid, because then that would be their incentives to be like, oh, okay, so every like major movie that people are going to be looking forward to within this universe, we could just funnel right into Paramount Plus and we could do it that way. No, that was never the wave. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible idea, right? So that happened, that decision was made, and now we're looking at a situation that's much worse, because there was a little leak, right? Essentially, somebody sent an email with the movie in tow that they probably, I don't know what the entire situation was there, but essentially that email with the entire movie got to somebody it shouldn't have, and it got to everybody. Everybody got their hands on it. People downloaded the movie full stop. They've been putting it on Twitter like constantly. They're probably working on putting it on like torrent sites and stuff like that as we speak, constantly working to get this movie up for free for anybody to watch, for anybody to just pirate. And this is the worst possible situation, because now we're looking at a situation where people won't even be desperate enough to go through Paramount Plus to watch the movie. Now we're looking at a situation in which anybody could just watch this movie 6 months before it was supposed to be released, because it's supposed to be out in October, and they're going to watch it, they're going to be done, they're not going to think about it, and now nobody's happy. Paramount's looking at, massive losses in terms of just like, putting this movie out on streaming services, but a lot of people aren't gonna, again, a lot of people weren't gonna bother anyway, but now, like, subtract that, divide that by like 90%. And like, a lot of people, like, it's been pretty much projected that this movie has already been viewed, like, I want to say like 15 million times by itself, and that's people that are like on Twitter consistently. That's just the Twitter space. You know what I'm saying? That's just the people who have been keeping up with everything. Imagine if you were to have put this in theaters. Oh my god. I personally have not seen this movie. I have not watched it. I don't have it. I've maybe seen like a screenshot and scrolled away from it as fast as humanly possible, because I didn't want to see anything. I was waiting for this movie to come out the proper way. Unfortunately, the best option to support the people that created it, to prove that we wanted more out of this universe, was to view it when it was intentionally meant to be viewed at the very least. And, use like a free trial or something on Paramount Plus if they offer that, just so I can watch the movie and then cancel my subscription. Because we want to make it clear, we're here for this. You have nothing else to offer us, so you're not getting subscriptions for anything else. That being said, I haven't seen the movie or anything like that. I know a lot of people are feeling the same way as me, in which they're really, really frustrated, and they like are trying to avoid all these leaks, all of these spoilers, all of the, just full movie drops so that they can watch it the proper way. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, well, it's kind of a tough situation. You're between a rock and a hard place, because you're going to be avoiding spoilers for 6 straight months, potentially, because obviously right now it's hot. For the next week or so, it's going to be hot. People are going to be talking about it continuously until some other major event happens or whatever. So you could cleanse your timeline a little bit, unless you want to completely mute everything, which is doable. But I have people in my life that, have the movie. Like, the movie is very much readily available to me. And that in of itself is just a sucky position for a lot of reasons. So it's just like, logically, do I just watch the movie and then still support it later? Or do I just completely avoid it and, try to just, I don't know. And that is precisely why I'm begging you, Paramount. I'm begging you to do all of those people that worked so hard on this movie, because everybody that's seen it has the exact same consensus. That movie is beautiful. It is so well crafted with love, care, and heart. All of those animators and designers and just all of those creatives that put so much time into this movie, that they thought that they were under the impression was going to be put in theaters, only for it to not even make it to theaters, but probably not even make it into the proper watching spaces with Paramount Plus. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the worst possible position. And I think the only way to potentially even begin to rectify this would be to put it back in theaters. It's the only way. I really do think that is the case, because this movie deserves so much better. We live in a very crappy age of, you know, these higher ups, these big wigs that think they understand anything, making the actual decisions of the fates of these movies and these shows and everything like that. Licenses that they have no... They themselves have absolutely no say on. They truly do not understand what they have in their hands, and they find ways to ruin it because money, because greed. And the Avatar universe deserves so much better than that. It has always, I don't know what it is post like Last Airbender, but it's always been dealt the crappiest possible hand. It got, you know, with Korra, it got just very unfortunate timing with its release. With the live action movie, that was just a mess. Obviously, it's from somebody who does not understand Avatar. The live action was just kind of a pointless endeavor in of itself, as far as the Netflix series goes, because I don't know, I didn't hear anything good about it, right? I couldn't be bothered, because I knew it wasn't going to be anything great, because there's no reason to turn, you know, the series from what it is into live action. And obviously, when it comes to this situation here, it's very obvious they don't understand what they have in their hands, because they had the audacity, the gall, to use the excuse that 2D animation isn't all that popular out in the West anymore, and so putting it in theaters would be an immediate flop. And that's foolhardy. Because if you pay attention to media at all, you would see that 2D movies that have actually released in theaters have done relatively very well. Look at Demon Slayer, which is one of the highest, I think it was like the highest grossing movie last year, period. Like, it made so much money, it's ridiculous. And that's the second time they put a Demon Slayer movie in theaters. Right? Not to mention the fact that they put 3 episodes in theaters as well. Look at all of the times they've done these like little 3-episode theatrics for certain episodes of a franchise of an anime or something like that, right? All 2D animation, guess what? They grossed well in the box office. And if you were to pay attention to that, you would realize that the Avatar franchise out in the West is one of the most popular 2D animated franchises, and that would have done phenomenal in theaters. Probably not nearly as much now, but it definitely would have. And it still could do at least a little bit better than if you were to just throw it up on Paramount Plus, see that nobody's buying subscriptions, and then the movie is just gone, because you're not going to be able to justify keeping it up on Paramount Plus for very long, because, you know, reasons. I'll be honest, I don't even completely understand how that situation works, like with Netflix and all that, how streaming services determine what stays and what doesn't. Am I missing something? Like, I don't get it, right? So, once again, Paramount, do all of these people that put in all of this hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into this movie, do them this favor. Do them this solid. Do yourselves a solid. Put this movie back in theaters where it belongs. Put this in front of the people that want to see it in the proper light. You will see much better returns on this. Eventually, obviously, if we do want to see it again, when you do inevitably put it back on Paramount Plus or whatever, maybe you will see some more foot traffic because of that. You know what I'm saying? Look at, like, you know, major animated movies like the Spider-Verse movies. You know what I'm saying? Imagine, I don't even think you realize there was probably so many people that signed up to Netflix just to watch the Spider-Verse movies again. It's not even funny. And Avatar out here, y'all are fumbling, and there's absolutely no reason to do that, right? The biggest argument that's happening right now, literally even on the original Toph voice actress's TikTok page, or just social pages in general, she made a very similar video saying, you know, stop talking about it, stop sharing it, stop doing this, stop doing that. And to an extent, I can get the frustration that people are, you know, having with just a sentiment like that, you know what I'm saying? Because they believe, like, okay, no, because we're not going to support Paramount for this. We're not going to support Paramount. We want to support the creators, of course, but the only way for us to do that is to support Paramount, and we don't want to do that. So it's just kind of like, what do you do? And it's like, if you want more, I'm sorry, but their pockets are the only way that they pay attention. And it sucks. It sucks to think that way. It does. But, you know, Paramount, if there's anybody, if there's a singular person that could see this from Paramount, Just do everybody that solid. Everybody is happy if you make that one decision to put it back in theaters, because guess what? There is one consensus out there that is universally agreed. If it's in theaters, they'll go watch it. It doesn't matter if they've seen it already, they'll go watch it. The people that are waiting for it to come out legally, they'll go watch it. And they might see it on Paramount Plus. Who even knows? But the long and short of it is, you will still see proper returns on this movie. You'll see proper reviews, and it'll be given a true chance if it's in theaters. Y'all got time. The movie's done. It's already out in the hands of the people. You gotta make a decision. Somebody's gotta do something here, gang. Yeah, this ain't even right. This ain't right. This sucks. And I want better for this franchise. I want to see more from this franchise, because guess what? This massive leak here, this is gonna ruin the franchise. We're never gonna see anything again if it's not supported properly. And just throwing it up on Paramount Plus and praying for returns, it's not the one. It's not the wave. Please, please, do this movie justice. It deserves so much better. Please, put it back in theaters. That's all I'm asking. Alright, I've said my piece, and I'm getting out of here. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because I'm passing the mic back to you. Do you feel the same way as I do? You think that this movie has been completely shafted? It didn't even get a chance, and now it's getting almost nothing because of the major leaks, and people are just essentially just going to watch it this way, not support it properly, and the Avatar franchise is going to die after this year? Or am I being dramatic? We're still going to, it's still going to be somewhat successful. We could still potentially see a lot from this franchise, and we still have something to look forward to, even though I doubt it. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, yep, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor, dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gonzo. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor, taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!